Hello and welcome back. I'm Mr. Sensible. Today we're going to have a look at a guy I've never looked at before. He's an idiot called Burn Fat Until the Earth is Flat. Before we look at this strange person, quick thanks to my wonderful patrons. I'm so grateful to all my patrons, including new patrons Eric Hare, Timo, Warren J, Cheesemondo, Brian A. Reid, Mr. Bozohead, and the newest patrons Thomas B, Sven Arngrimsson, Andy Woods and Glenn Chapman. Thank you all so very much. So what is it that's got Mr. Burn Fat Until the Earth is Flat all so excited? It's Mr. Brian Cox. So Look, I'm just going to call you Chuffing Idiot, it's easier, okay? So, Chuffing Idiot, you better show us what you got. Roll VT.
There is absolutely no basis at all for thinking the world is flat. Nobody in human history, as far as I know, has thought the world was flat.
No one in human history. Not the Incas, the Mayans, no one. No? You retard.
Easy, Tiger. Does your mum know you speak like this? You better go and wash your mouth out with soap before you carry on.
You absolute lying bag.
Look, I don't know the full context in which Brian was talking. Was he just talking about written recorded history? I don't know. I think we better move on. Perhaps you'll calm down a little.
The Greeks measured the radius of the Earth. I cannot conceive of a reason why anybody would think that the world is flat.
Well, Professor Brian Cox, OBE, FRS, is an English physicist, Professor of Particle Physics in the School of Physics and Astronomy at the University of Manchester, and he is quite sure that the Earth is not flat.
Well, Brian Cox, you should rethink your facts.
You smeg-headed numpty. You don't rethink facts. Facts are facts. Facts are immutable. Do you know what that means?
Because we've got an image called the Black Swan that absolutely annihilates the globe's geometrics.
No, we're not going to go there because you haven't got the faintest idea what that photo shows.
We can see over 10 miles from a 1-foot observation. You need to get a grip, you lying.
And you need to get some manners. You're talking to a professor of physics. And you're the sort of person who needs all the sharp corners cut off of marshmallows so you don't injure yourself when trying to eat them.
The Greeks measured it, but they assumed it was a sphere and not just a circle.
Ah, you're talking about my friend Eratosthenes, who noticed things about shadows at noon at various points in the year. And from the length of those shadows and the distances between the cities where those shadows were, he calculated the angles to the sun and that the Earth must be a sphere. Nothing to do with whether it's circular or square. You're talking about it being flat, which doesn't work with those calculated angles.
There are interesting bits of physics that tell you that you live on a spinning planet. One of them is called the Coriolis Force, which is the force that's responsible for causing storm systems to rotate on the planet. So when you see those beautiful pictures of storms spinning around and rotating, the reason for that is that we live on a spinning planet.
Here you go, you donkey. Storms in the north and the south rotate in different directions because of Coriolis, due to the rotation of the Earth.
Brian. If Earth was moving, flight times would be massively changed one way or the other. Hot air balloons, continents would come towards us. You'd see a deviation in drones. There's no scientific proof of Earth moving whatsoever. You absolute lying.
Ooh, I think someone might have got out of bed the wrong side this morning, yeah? Just because you don't understand something doesn't mean that when you're told about it, you're being lied to. Have you ever been on a train going at speed? Well, if you were to hop up and down a few inches off the floor, do you think you'll suddenly shoot backwards to the back of the train? No, you're carrying on at the same speed of the train. It's called conservation of momentum. You need to look it up.
You know, there's some nice physics in there actually, if you want to dig more deeply. Putting all that aside, the theoretical stuff, the very simple fact that we've taken pictures of it, you see, I'm lost for words. It's probably the most nonsensical suggestion that a thinking human being could possibly make.
Thing is, Brian, I'm not sure we're talking to thinking human beings.
It is drivel.
Nice physics, did you say? Nice physics. And pictures from space, a second law of thermodynamics violation.
What's this? Taking pictures is a violation of the second law of thermodynamics? Oh, you mean taking them from space?
Are you having a laugh?
Yeah, we're having a laugh at you.
The Atmos would want to fill the available space.
So has it filled your head already?
I.e. the sky vacuum. With no membrane, entropy would take place, you mug.
Ah, I presume that one of these membranes then was what stopped people getting to the top of Mount Everest for so long. Because there must be one to stop the atmospheric pressure at sea level of 14.7 psi also rushing up to the top of Mount Everest. You mug.
Dribble, Brian Cox, you lying.
Is that a picture of you paying attention at the back of the class?
Dribble? That's all you do. You're just a physicist.
He's a what?
You're just a physicist.
Alexa, what is a physicist?
I'm not sure.
Who just looks at the stars and makes up whatever the fuck he wants.
If he's making stuff up, do you not think that others might think, hey, if I make up some stuff, or if I show that Professor Brian Cox has made up stuff and is lying, that I could take his place as a professor and probably well-paid TV personality?
You've never had a scientific method or experiment or anything put towards you.
I'm not even sure that that statement made sense in English.
You know nothing, you plum.
Well, if I ever need to know if it's best to lick the inside or the outside of a window first, I'll be sure to come and ask you.
Putting all that aside, the theoretical stuff, the very simple fact that we've...
Funny you say that, Brian. Absolutely really funny that you say the theoretical stuff,
Yes, Brian's just starting a new career as a stand-up comedian.
The theoretical stuff, you know, the stuff that you make up by yourself?
Yes, you take all sorts of evidence, all sorts of facts, and you come up with a theory of how things work, and others will look closely at that theory and see if they can pick holes in it. That's science.
Yeah, seems you can tell the truth by admitting it's theoretical. Speaks volumes, mate.
Well, if you're ever worried about becoming ill, don't ever have a vaccination, because that's all to do with germ theory. Don't switch on those lights, because they require the theory of electricity. You could try testing out the theory of gravity from a tall building, though. Yeah, it's only made up stuff.
By mate, I mean scumbag.
And by clueless, nerf-herding, smeg-headed gimboid, I mean clueless, nerf-herding, smeg-headed gimboid.
Earth's flat. Research it.
No it isn't. But if you want to research it, please go ahead. If you can come up with some evidence, I'm all ears. But research isn't just have a look at a few wobbly YouTube videos by Sleeping Warrior or Nathan Mute Swan Oakley or Nathan Lock Me Up Thompson. That's not research. So run along, do your research, get some evidence, and then come back and do a video that's not laden with and then we'll have a look at it. I've got a feeling we're going to be some time. Hope you all enjoyed that. Until next time, stay sensible.
Shut up and sit down.